was great. The sound was awful. What was that? Knee tackles for behind.
Knee behind, knee to the side.
Knee to the side. And so strictly speaking,
It should
by
be.
the time you've used a couple of touches, well, one touch left anyway, so no matter the players that carry past it.
I like football.
Well played.
Well
played. Well done. I'd been nominated and it was announced on the 31st of December, but I got the actual award last Tuesday at the garden party at Holyrood. So it was great. It was the King, and we had a chat about walking football, and he said, "Do you play as well?" And I said yes, and he laughed at that. So but yeah, he was very nice, very easy to talk to. Decided to finish on a high. I'm taking early retirement, and I'm going to stick with the walking football. I'm going to stick with the project, but not as the one that does all the paperwork and reports and funding and budgets. I'm going to be the one that enjoys the exercises, the camaraderie, the fun, and I don't want to give that up. That's been part of my life for 16 years, and I couldn't give that up. So yeah, I'll be a punter the same as everybody else.
Jackie, I'll maybe just kick off with you and let you just say a bit of a hello, who you are, and your involvement in walking football.
Okay, hi. Well, everybody calls me Jackie, although you might see in the bottom of the screen it's got Martin Jack there, but just ignore the Martin bit. It was only my mother that called me that. I'm a trustee of Walking Football Scotland, and I have been for just over a year now. I'm also have an active part in it.
We have got a bit of funding available for DFIBs. So what that would look like is sort of looking at potentially how many clubs would benefit from it, that you feel like if they wanted them out there, who would be responsible for them, because there is a little bit of maintenance when it comes to DFIBs in terms of changing the batteries and changing the pads. We can definitely signpost them for the training to be able to utilise it, but if there is a want from the clubs to get them there, we absolutely have the means to get them out.
I've got a couple of friends that were playing the walking football. They'd asked me before, and I kind of just laughed at it and thought, well, walking football. And eventually just gave in. Said, look, I'll come down and try it one night, and I was blown away. I just thought, this is incredible.
The start of the day for me was get up, as usual, have my breakfast, do a wee bit of organising team sheets for the going through to the game, meet up with a few of the lads, and then make our way through to Tory Glen. Once we got through there, obviously we had all our fixtures organised, and our first game was against Dundee East.
So the first game we had was against North Lanarkshire Council. Now I think they had won the West League, so it was a tough opener, but we got off to a great start, played really well. Again, beat them 1-0. So it was an excellent start we got off to, again, so a lot of adrenaline was going, but we were all pumped up and up for it. And then the next game was against our big rivals, Hearts, again, who they're in our East League and are a really good side, again. And it was only about, I think, for what I can remember, about 6-7 minutes into the game, I just remember shouting on one of our guys, and I just remember not being able to see, kind of just going black and a wee bit dizzy, and just for a split second I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
right away, I said to my teammates, did you see what happened? Because I say I turned away, so I didn't see him actually go down. I said, did anybody see what happened? And nobody said, no, he collapsed. You know, myself and a couple of other lads, you know, they say, well, let's get him in the recovery position, which we did. We put him in the recovery position, but I was looking at him and I thought, you know, he's changing colour, he's going grey. So I said, look, guys, you know, we'll have to get him on his back and we need to see if he's breathing or we're getting any response from him. My face quite close to his nose and see if I could see if he's breathing. No response at all. I'm calling his name. I'm asking him, you know, if we know where he is, and it's Davey that's talking to him. No response at all. And there and then, that's when I knew that John was either having cardiac arrest or a heart attack. We need to get an ambulance. Somebody can organise an ambulance. And I said, I'll start CPR if somebody can find the nearest defibrillator. And the lads from Torry Glen, they came down with defibrillator. So I said, well, let's get out, get it working. And I just said to him, you know, I'll keep doing the CPR, but just push a button, switch it on. It'll talk to us, tell us what to do, and just go by the instructions from the defib. I says, you know, just try and keep relaxed. John came back at the second shot, and I kept going doing CPR, and he responded quite well, because he shouted up saying, "You're hurting me, you're hurting me," because I was got compressions on his chest and his rib cage. I says, John, I'm sorry I'm hurting you, mate. I'm going to keep doing this until the ambulance gets here. I says, and if I break your rib, I apologise now. And that's what I sort of said to John at the time.
I was in shock again. I was like, I just didn't want to believe it. I was like, this is mind-numbing. I believe I'm not the only one he's saved. He's done it before.
But just before I left, one of the ambulance crew actually came up to me and he gave me a card. He says, if you need to speak to anybody, call the number on that card. Which is good because, you know, I could have went home to an empty house, sit myself and not see somebody for a couple of days. But fortunately, you know, I've come home with my wife and family and I could speak to him about it.
If somebody asked me the question, what's the difference between a heart attack and cardiac arrest, I thought they were the same. But now, yeah, it's clear in my mind that they're two totally different things, Ken. And obviously, the first time I seen Davey, because obviously I was recovering here and that, and went up to watch, and obviously missed to meet Davey. And on the bus, I was like that, right? What am I going to say to him? I can't just go, oh, thanks for what you did, kind of. It just doesn't sound right. So it's like, what am I going to say to him that kind of it's like something powerful that kind of has got a deep meaning in that. And I was standing in the main foyer, and he come out the change rooms. So I just made a beeline for him. And I got up to him. Then I couldn't even speak. We just embraced and a big cuddle.
Do your best, you know, because your best is better than what they've got at the time. You know, no matter the outcome, you've given him help that hopefully will give him a full recovery. It's hard to put into words how you feel, you know, you're just delighted to see him, he's fit, very emotional for him and myself, and it was just good to give him a cuddle and get a picture taken with him, you know, it was just so good.
So this service was set up to support people. So what happens is when you are involved in a cardiac arrest, whether you've carried out the CPR or whether you've actually just witnessed the CPR, the ambulance will come, take over, and they will give you a wallet card. And on the wallet card is our contact details. And when you come through, you get speaking to the clinical team who will answer any of your questions. Lots of the questions are, did I do the right thing? Did I do breaths? I didn't do breaths. Did I do enough compressions? Did I make it worse? So we're there to reassure them that they absolutely did. They gave the person the best of chance. Unfortunately, depending on what's wrong with their heart, they may never survive it, but that's nothing to do with the person giving out the cardiac massage. It's about the cart itself. But we don't know that when we reach somebody in the street or in the home, so we have to give them the best possible chance. And if we can do that, we'll save lives.
Hello, you're through to Chest, Heart and Throat Scotland's advice line. My name's Alan, how can I help you? Just talking through it with people is sometimes makes a big difference, just to sort of validate what they did, reassure them that what they did was the right thing. And that's really important, and a lot of the calls have been based around that to start with anyway. Most people just haven't experienced anything like that, and it's a terrifying thing to watch. Even if you were standing watching that, I mean, the sounds, the noises, it affects all your senses, a cardiac arrest. There's smells, everything that you can imagine happens, and it's terrifying. If you see somebody getting defibrillated, and that can possibly save their life, but it's terrifying. Sometimes, the person will move, with the electric shock, and people are absolutely just not expecting something like that to happen. They think it's a bit like on the television, it's all quite clean and safe. But realistically, it's not. It's visceral, it's brutal.